the advertisement. Yep.
Mic check. Yep, we good.
Hello, everyone. Oh, it has been a day, a weekend, everything in between. And I am so eager and excited to have this awesome man.
What? Y'all be making me blush, dude. It'd be funny. Like,
because it's true. Like, this is everyone. If you haven't not known, working out with Wanda, we're always talking about health, body, mind, and spirit. But let's just jump right into it. This man right here is not only my producer, but he's the coach. He's a mentor. He's very well diverse in the city of Milwaukee.
Oh.
He is very known for, I don't know, like you just have this grace that you give people, especially for all of us that do our various podcasts, and you give us, whether it's encouraging words or constructive criticism, you always have like this moment to just say, this is who I am. This is what we're going to do. I think this is where you should dive in. This is where you should focus on. This is what you should do. And I'm so excited because last time I talked about you and your songs, and I just want to say I was listening to that.
You listened to the whole album or just
yes,
that
I
one
did,
song?
The whole album. I was at work and we was listening to the whole album. And it was like, who is that? So no further ado, because he's producing right now as we speak. you can't help it, but he got to do his job.
I gotta still do my job. I'm sorry, people.
But with no further ado, I just want to introduce this awesome man, Antonio.
Oh, she called me by my government.
But we know him as Tone from TDR Network.
What's going on, everybody?
I'm so excited for you to be here.
I'm excited to be here too. I actually was, out of all the shows I've been recording today, this is actually one of the ones I was really excited to be on today.
Thank you. So this year, I want to say like last month, we talked about losing weight and how that looks mentally.
Right.
How that looks, how can you tell somebody, or we use the New Year's resolution.
Right.
I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And by the first quarter, 90% of us quit. We didn't even make it out the first month.
Nah.
And what you and I were talking about offline was about the emotional piece of not dealing with our emotions in that time of whether it's grief or whether it's just various things that we're dealing with. We do not deal with our emotions. I want you to kind of talk about that because you was talking about the movie Inside Out.
Okay.
And you was using that as
a point of reference.
Yes.
I'm really a deep person because I barely remember that conversation. But
it was something.
I get I do that. We were talking about emotions off. I'm trying to remember exactly because me and you have a lot of conversations out off air in regards to everything. And we were talking about, I know for a fact, if I use Inside Out, one of the biggest things I always point back to is the second one.
Yes.
Like I love the first one, but the second one did something. It told a story in a way I think a lot of people never seen it.
Yeah.
And never understood that. And that is what anxiety really looks like. With me right now, I am very heavy on mental health. I have started the Man Up Project with my boy Ishmael, which is a nonprofit geared towards helping men with their mental health. And one of the biggest things that we are advocating right now is for men to accept the fact that it's okay to not be okay. Like you're going to hear that a lot from a lot of different people, but we really want to focus in regards to men. And two things I have come to the realization that men don't know how to deal with is depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
One, we don't know what that looks like. Whenever I explain to somebody when they say, well, what does depression really look like? I always refer to this episode of Euphoria on HBO where Rue, The name of the episode is When You're So Depressed You Can't Get Out the Bed to Pee. And the whole episode is literally a visualization of Rue, which is the main character, legitimately can't get out the bed to pee. There is a moment where she has to drag herself across the floor like a soldier in battle to make herself go to the bathroom. It shows all the different signs, the watching TV on her laptop in the bed, the having her mom bring her food, the in the darkness, and the only light that's on is what little sunlight comes through the window. And even then, the blinds are still closed in that situation. It's like a whole amalgamation. I said, for a lot of people, this is what depression looks like inside. Yeah. Okay. Because you do have functional depression, but on the outside, we could still be going on with everyday life and you never know. So if somebody said that they're depressed, I say always picture that visualization of the level of depression, because extreme as that visualization is, that's actually a normalcy in regards to a lot of people here. Yeah. The second thing I always go to is anxiety. There's a scene in Inside Out where she's playing hockey, and throughout the whole entire thing, she's trying to be a part of the big picture, the main team, the superstars, like the popular ones. Right, the popular ones. I couldn't find that word for nothing in the world. And in her head, everything that could possibly go wrong is all that anxiety is worried about. And the visualization was she's moving from different buttons. Even though there's all these other emotions that can help you manage the situation, anxiety was doing it all on their own, running from here, touching this button, setting this one, pulling this trigger. And it got to the point where it turned into a big whirlwind, to the point where anxiety was so much in control of everything that anxiety did not know how to let go. And it led to, visually on the outside, a panic attack. And in the mind's eye, I'm a sensitive dude, so I'll admit this online. I actually cried in this scene because I truly could understand what that felt like. Because I've had panic attacks. Anybody who knows, as being an entrepreneur, sometimes we're the only people who run our business. And it's our babies, and we don't want nobody else to put their hands on our child. So, no, I got it. I know how to do this. Nope, this is a certain way I want to do that. No, this has to be done this way. This has to be done that way, to the point where we don't allow nobody to come in and help us take the load off of everything. And we get in a panic attack the minute we hire somebody new and we want to leave them in the studio to do the recording instead. And I was like, okay, they're not going to record it like the way I want to, or they're not going to do this like the way I want to, because everybody expects a certain level of me in everything. So I would have those moments where I'm at home chilling, but I'm having a small panic attack because my new hire is now at the studio by himself or herself, and I don't know if they know what they're doing, even though I know I taught them everything I did. So I truly understood that scene more than anything, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
No, we can dive right in with that, because I feel that, and I just had to speak at a hospital conference. And,
congratulations.
Well, thank you, sir. And it was, let me tell you, you talk about pressure. When you're speaking to physicians, presidents, CEOs, nurses, and various staff on what wellness and care is, even though this is what we do on a daily, we instruct our patients. I was talking to them, and I use this analogy of, we don't listen to our own body.
This is true.
We instruct patients. These are directives for you to feel better, for you to do better. And we sometimes even tell our patients, take rest, do this, do that. And you would be surprised how many physicians in them are like laughing and so forth. Because in our minds, I'm telling you to do something that I don't even do. I'm not listening to my own body. And our body goes through these phases of, whether it's grief, whether it's joy, sadness, whatever, we don't embrace that emotion in the moment. We don't let it out at that time. And I said, so we're trying to infuse our purpose with medicine, right? So that it can be, we can give our full potential. But then at the same point, our body is tired. Our body wants to shut down. I'm upset, but I'm not telling nobody I'm upset. So I'm walking around with all of this on me. I'm walking heavy. I'm sad and I want to cry, but I don't, because, our culture, we got to be strong, and we don't embrace our emotions at that moment. But then we're walking around with all these pains in our body.
Well, I find that funny because I recently, just this past week, experienced that where I had to stop and say to myself, I can't take on everything.
Okay.
I'm a part of multiple different organizations.
Yes.
I got multiple different hats in the whole 9 yards. So one particular organization that I'm a part of, I had to sit down and let them know I need to step away for a minute. I didn't say I was done with it. I didn't say I was quitting or anything like that. I said I need to step away. And in my head, I'm saying I need to step away because if I do too much, I'm not good at anything. Okay. So I know for a fact that if I put too much on my plate, TDR is going to suffer. SNA coaching is going to suffer. Man Up Project is going to suffer. Lupus Has No Face is going to suffer. Hell, being a dad is going to suffer. You know, let's keep it realistic. Yeah. All these different things are going to suffer if I put too much on my plate. So I need to step back for a minute and minimize a lot of my different roles. So like for SNA coaching, I can't take on business clients for the next couple of months because I know you need my full attention in those blocks of times, and I got to curate everything you need for business. I'm not going to give you the best what you need.
Right.
And what you're getting from me is what you're going to take and use it towards your business. So if I can't give you the best of me, your business is not going to be the best of what it needs to be. So I had to step away from that one. I had to tell this project, look, I can't do a few of the projects. You know, we got a whole nother person who can handle the front end stuff that I do, but I'll take care of some of the back end stuff if need be. But I got to take a break from that as well, too. And it wasn't well received because the fact that I am dependent on a lot, sometimes people don't see that break is more than just you. You know, that break sometimes is a lot of things. And there was some other stuff that was involved why I need to take a break from all these different projects. One project is growing exponentially. The other one, like TDR, I have more and more new clients, and I don't want nobody to come in and don't get the same quality of me that everybody else gets. So I was like, no, I got to prioritize these two situations. So I got to step away from everything else. And I had to stand my ground about anybody I told I need to take a break. Because if I bend and be like, well, I can make this happen, and I can fill this in here, or, you know what, I'll do this date, but, you know, I really got to take a break. Then that one date turns into the next day, until the next day, and next thing you know it, I didn't do anything I said I was doing for myself. And as entrepreneurs, we do that a lot.
Yes.
We do that a lot. We pick up that event because, okay, I can squeeze this in because it's only a few hours. But people tend to forget that's only a few hours of facing.
Yeah.
There may be several more hours and days of behind the scenes that you need to do. If you are a person who makes candles, yes, you're at this table for maybe 2 to 3 hours, which might not be too much, but you still got to make those candles. You got to anticipate the inventory. You got to prep the work. You got to get it there, you know? So there's more that goes behind it than what we see. And sometimes we don't count all of that as a whole project. So if all of that together, I ain't got time to do it, then you ain't got time to do it. You know? And that's what we as Black people, like you say, we don't know how not to sit down.
No.
Okay? We don't know how to work smarter, not harder. We don't know how to do partnership because the last person we considered a partner didn't see my vision. So now if it's not me, it's not going to get done, and we need to break away from that completely. That's a whole nother conversation.
But,
a whole nother conversation.
But when we talk about the emotional piece,
okay,
why is it so hard for us to embrace that feeling? Like, prime example, well, most people correlate grief is with death.
Right.
So in that moment, and I've experienced where people will tell little boys, don't cry. Your mom or your daddy will want you to be strong right now. Right. And I even had somebody tell it to my son, and I turn around and say, you cry. You're not going to see your father. Don't let nobody tell you cry.
Right.
In that moment, you can't. I feel like that's when we're already manipulating and also controlling others' emotions.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
That is something that I really am very adamant about letting people feel what they need to feel. My only thing is give yourself a realistic time frame of when you're going to try to take control of your feelings. Okay?
Break that down, sir. Break that down.
So I'll give you an example. I have a friend right now who recently just lost her mom. Okay. And as one of my certifications, I'm also a grief coach. If you ain't realized that by now.
Right.
I'm also a grief coach. So during the conversation of when we were talking when she first lost her mom, she was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Don't worry about that. Yes, you lost your mom. Within this first year, you're going to be triggered by everything. Every holiday, every birthday, every event, anything that your mom would have been a part of,
right?
It's going to make you feel. But feel. Don't feel bad. Mom wasn't here for Christmas. You ain't got to beat tough for everybody. No, break the fuck down.
Yeah.
Break down. Let all that shit out, because you want to know what? You can probably start the process for everybody else to do the exact same thing. My mom passed in July of last year, and I didn't process feelings like everybody else. Now, I tell everybody I didn't process my feelings with my mom because my mom was sick and suffering.
Right.
So a large portion of what would have been grief was more of an exhale because she's not suffering anymore. But periodically, there's those moments where my mom's not here to experience this.
Yeah.
Okay. My mom wasn't here to see this. Like Thanksgiving was the very first time, I think, since she passed, my emotions really hit, because one of the key things about her is I can always go over by her house and I guarantee to get my macaroni and cheese. You know, even though I know how to make it, my dad knows how to make it, I can make it, but it's I can't go get it from her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what makes the big deal. One of my business partners, she lost her mom. Christmas was rough on her. And what we have to learn is feel it all. Feel it whatever way you feel like you need to do, but you got to eventually get to a point where you can't let the grief control you.
Right.
So give yourself a time frame of when you realistically want to take control of the grief. Give yourself a realistic time frame of when you want to still mourn the loss. And it doesn't have to be death. It could be a job. It could be a best friend. It could be a relationship. It could be the car you built from ground up. Give yourself time to mourn that loss, but then give yourself a realistic period of when you're going to take back control. Because if you mourn too much, you become in that moment. You get stuck in the past.
Yeah.
So now you have to let that go. So give a time frame. With me, I said realistically, I am going to grieve for a year. And then I'm going to honor from there on out. And what I mean by then honor, those moments of when I would be affected, those are moments where I would do something that would be an honor of her. So Thanksgiving next year, I'm not, I got to get my macaroni and cheese. No, Thanksgiving next year, I'm making the macaroni and cheese. And I'm making it the way I know she would make it.
Yeah.
So if I got to be like Danny Glover, still making the sweet potato pie repeatedly until he got it right,
come on,
then that's what I'm going to do, because I know how the macaroni and cheese is supposed to be. So that's what I'll do. And then I'll create those moments. Things that I know my mom used to love and do. These are experiences me and my daughters would do. These are the way I will pour into other people in regards to me. Anytime I do an event and I'm getting an award for it, that award is not for me. That award is for my mom, because she wanted me to get to that point. So that's when I change grief and I take control of it. Because now grief is no longer something that's hindering me, it's motivating me. Yeah. You can use grief to motivate you.
Say that line again. It's not hindering me. It's motivating
me. It's motivating me now.
So when you're saying that it's motivating me, what does that look like when we're saying motivating? It looks
like whatever you're doing, because you're honoring now. Like in my world, I said 1 year from the day that I realized my mom is no longer here, I am going to grieve. So whatever emotions that's coming out of me is going to come out honest, raw, and whatever it is. But now when those same emotions come up, let me go do something that's more impactful, more promising. Let me go do an episode and I'm going to talk about these feelings. But in this feeling, I'm going to talk to people about how we can take these feelings and make it be something that can give back. Or let me show you, let me do a 8-episode series of how to navigate the different stages of grief. Now I'm taking control of it. It's motivating me to take how I feel and help those who may be feeling the same way.
Because like, when I talked about last month, the weight loss.
Right.
Everybody, we go in the gym to work out physically, right? but we forget about the emotional, the mental, the spiritual aspect of weight loss, of letting things go that's not in our power, not in our control. And I think that from the standpoint in medical or in coaching or in counseling, we understand that there's so many outlets that people have come in agreement with. So many have gone to substance abuse. Many have gone in various forms of addictions because I still do not know how to deal with my emotions while I'm grieving, while I'm trying to move forward, while I'm trying to, like you say, use it as motivation, because they're still stuck in like this cross line of, do I go forward in this and accept the reality of whatever's there is no longer there? Or do I stay back and allow my addictions and allow my things that I've come into agreement with to overtake my mind?
What happens is, and this is one of the things I've noticed when dealing with grieving people, they're not always grieving the loss of their person. They're grieving the loss of those connections.
Yeah.
Okay. If you lose somebody and the connection wasn't for a negative reason, that emotion sits there. That emotion stays there. That emotion becomes the factor. It's like saying, if you were dating somebody, I'll use you for an example, and if you're comfortable with this.
Sure.
He was the love of your life. Okay? Love of your life. The world was complete when y'all two was together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You know.
And then boom, you lost him.
Yeah.
You didn't have an opportunity to change how you feel about him. So because the love for you two was so high, that stopped. You didn't have a chance to come down off that perpetual high. You still in love with that man as is, but it stopped in that moment. And because of that, it's difficult for you to move forward because that love is infinite now. Because it's not, there's nothing he can do to make you feel different because it got stopped. So it's going to be harder for you to move past those moments that invoke intimacy, that invokes vulnerability, that invokes moments of love, because it was still at its highest form with him. So even if you get to this point 2, 3, 4 years from now where you are now ready to accept that he's not here and you want to give somebody else a chance, it's still not going to be fair to them because they're going to be at a measuring stick that they can never compete to because it did not end on bad terms. Now, meanwhile, across town, there's somebody who was dealing with an abusive relationship.
Right. And
this person made them feel like the lowest of low, and then randomly one day they dropped dead and died. They're not going to mourn that person.
Oh,
they're not going to mourn that person. They're going to mourn the situation for a minute.
Yeah.
But because the love on that level is low, it's not going to be hard for them to move on. They just going to look for the signs that you are not like this person who abused me. And as long as you're not like this person that abused me and I'm healed from that trauma, we're going to go off, find our forever land together. Those levels of emotion and those levels of feelings determine how long we get stuck in situations. So if you were in that moment where you were in an argument and y'all was not talking to each other because of something so very petty, that person is going to grieve harder than the person who just spoke to them 2 days ago, because there's an unresolved situation that we can never correct. We can't fix. Okay. I can't go back and say, you know what, bro, I'm sorry. That was stupid. That was nothing worth arguing about. We can always get another car, you know, but I can't have that verbal confirmation and I can't hear that person tell me, I forgive you. So that's going to always hurt us. And we're not going to let go. That's going to be difficult for us to let go. Okay. So once we've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to let grief control me, this is what I'm going to do to motivate me.
Come on.
If we were fighting over a car, guess what I'm going to do with the next time I get an opportunity to buy a car? I'm probably going to buy that same car, or I'm going to try to build that car. And if I'm going to take my free time and build that car, guess who's building this car with me? The person who I couldn't let go of. That's how I let go of that grief. You see?
Tone, you can't be leaving like these little cliffhangers and nuggets and then I'm supposed to pick it back up. This is not how my show go.
Look, you wanted me here.
I think that, this is important. I think for our culture, we don't talk about releasing emotions. We don't talk about release and let it go. I mean, we've all probably saw Frozen when the girl was saying, let it go, let it go.
Right.
But we haven't really applied it to ourselves. We haven't really applied. And then sometimes we still want to hold on to things that we can no longer have control of. If whatever's in my power that I can control is what I try to deal with and how I try to process. And that's where I'm at in the phase now. Like, hey, some things I can control, some things I can't. And unfortunately, when we're in these grief moments, whether it's the loss of someone or something, our eyes are open to where this is what I can accept. This is what I can tolerate. This is what I can handle in this moment. Other stuff I can't right now. And I think I feel like it's disrespectful when people don't understand your point of view of that.
Okay. So there's a couple of different ways I can come at this, but I'm going to come at you the way I've experienced it. We grew up, unfortunately, on the back end of, since we're in February, I'm going to do this, on the back end of civil rights. Right? Okay. One of the biggest things that happened during the civil rights movement was a lot of our black men were taken away from us, and either by death or by jail. Mm-hmm. Okay. Which caused a lot of women to have to be head of the household. And the minute that they had a little black boy in their household, they held on to that little black boy. They didn't want that little black boy to be out there part of the world. They didn't want that little black boy to go and be out in the streets, because at any given moment, they could have been gunned down by the police. They could have been arrested. They could have been shot by somebody who just happens to didn't like the color of their skin. So we tend to hold on to those little black boys. Don't go out there and be a part of society. And during that same time frame, we also tell our little black boys, don't feel. Yeah. Don't go out here and show your vulnerability.
Be numb.
Okay. Be numb to the world. Get out there, work, keep your head down, and just continue to try to survive so you can come home and make it another day. Then the crack epidemic kicked in. Mm-hmm. Keep your head down, stay away from these particular people, be numb. You have to be numb to what you've seen going on in everyday life, to the point where we don't know how to share our feelings, because anything can take away our control. Anything can take away our power. At any given moment, we can be removed from the scenario. Okay. And because of that, we don't want to let go of anything. Right. Okay. We become emotional hoarders, where we keep everything to ourselves.
Emotional hoarder. So we know what a hoarder is. Yeah. We done seen all different TV shows of people, their house is cluttered and it's very claustrophobic. Mm-hmm. So I know you're in the middle, and I don't mean to interrupt, but that just like a ping.
Yeah, we become emotional hoarders because we don't want to show you we love you, because you may take your love and weaponize it to us. We don't want to show you that you made us angry, because that anger may be so big it can land us in situations we can't get out of. We don't want to show you sadness, because you'll then go ahead and throw it in our face when we're having a moment of conflict. You don't want to see us worried about something, because if we're worried and we're stressing and we have anxiety, we're no longer a man. Yeah. You know, so we tend to hold all these emotions to ourselves. We don't want you to know anything. And then we become numb. So when it is actually time for us to show these feelings, we don't know how to show them, because we never really got an opportunity to express them, and no one taught us what they are. I used to make this joke until I really sat down and thought about it. My mom never said, I love you. Now, she showed love. She was definitely a provider, but she never said, I love you. Okay. And it wasn't until I got older one day when I started, just before I leave, all right, I love y'all, bye. My stepdad would say it, no problem whatsoever. He was like, I love you, Jermaine, but you got to boo, boo, boo. I was like, okay, cool. But my mom, she wouldn't say it. And it wasn't that she didn't love us. It was just never something she was taught to do. Yeah. It was never something she was taught to say. Wow. So it gets to the point with me was like, just saying I love you has such an impact, because it's an emotion. It's a verb, but it's an emotion. Yeah. And it's an emotion that a lot of people don't know how to receive. So every time I talk to my babies, I tell them I love you, give them forehead kisses. And I was like, you know what, babies, I love you, but you need to get in there and clean your room. You know, like I make sure I position it as it's controlling the narrative. I love you, but y'all can't be sitting in this house like this. So it's not me coming in angry, upset, and mad. No, he loves me, but we're being lazy right now. So my dad's not mad at me. He's just upset at the situation right now. So they're able to sort and separate the difference. So my children have no problem expressing their emotions because they know what love feels like and they know how to convey it. So if they're sad because they couldn't spend no time with their mom this week because she had to work 2 doubles, they know how to express it and say it now. Right. They don't have to just sit there and be like, well, my mom doesn't love me because she's never home and we never. No, mom's at work. She loves you. She's at work doing these triple doubles so she could take y'all to Canada. Come on. You know? And they understand that. They don't look at it as, oh, well, mom's just trying to buy our affection. No, mom is working for us to experience things that my classmates will never know the sight of. Yeah. You know? So
their peers and everything so exactly. Forth. And so with emotions, we got to do a part 2, y'all. I'm just telling y'all right now, we got to do part 2. But one of the things that I want to just really like touch bases on, and even in our next segment, is understanding that our emotions are not like this. I think there's a stigma of negativity when we talk about releasing your emotions. And I think that you're an amazing coach, a mentor, to really fully embrace and allow us to understand that it is okay for us dealing with our emotions in a healthy way. Right. Okay. Some people, and I think maybe we should talk about in our next segment, the good and bad of releasing our emotions. You gonna do another segment with me?
I got you. I can't leave you like this.
Yes, because he got me like this on the cliffhanger. So I'm gonna wrap this up real quick because we're getting short on time. But understand, you will not give up. You will not give in. You will not abort what God has predestined and spoken over your life.
I'm sorry about that.
Nope, you're good because he's my producer. I let him do what he wants. But understanding who you are and what God has called you to be. You are more than enough, and you were created for a purpose so that it can be fulfilled. So lastly, I thank you for joining us. And until next time, see you all later.